Breaking news on top of 7 p.m. Osama Bin Laden's son Hamza Bin Laden has been killed. White House has confirmed the operation. This is breaking news coming in. Osama Bin Laden's son Hamza Bin Laden has been confirmed killed. And Donald Trump, the US president, has just confirmed that the US was involved in the operation. Let me go through the entire statement from the President of the United States. Hamza Bin Laden, the high-ranking Al-Qaeda member and son of Osama Bin Laden, was killed in a United States counter-terrorism operation in the Afghanistan-Pakistan region. The loss of Hamza Bin Laden not only deprives Al-Qaeda of important leadership skills and the symbolic connection to his father, but undermines important operational activities of the group. Hamza Bin Laden was responsible for planning and dealing with various terrorist groups. One of the most wanted terrorists, Hamza Bin Laden, son of Osama Bin Laden, has been killed in a US counter-terrorism operation. That's a big announcement. And the fact that Abhishek, the fact that America in a statement has said that, he was killed in the Afghanistan-Pakistan region, where his father was also eliminated in the Abbottabad operation, highlights how terror has found its epicenter in Pakistan.
Well, Niranjan, 2005 is the year when we saw first time Hamza Bin Laden actively taking over Al-Qaeda from his father Osama Bin Laden, who was on the run. And there was a video that came out which showed Hamza in command, essentially. And since then, we saw how in 2011, Osama Bin Laden got eliminated, and Hamza continued with his activities in that region of Af-Pak, or Afghanistan, Pakistan, as the Americans say. In fact, he was named as an accused, Niranjan, in the 2007 assassination of former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, and that really shows how deep he had gone into Al-Qaeda and terror activities after Americans went after Osama Bin Laden and his organization. Also, we have seen how another video came out in 2015, Niranjan, where he called upon his followers in greater Afghanistan, Kabul, and Middle East region, essentially to wage a war or the jihad against the West. So essentially, he was the successor or heir of Osama Bin Laden in terms of the Bin Laden clan, and this elimination of Hamza Bin Laden by American forces, details of which are yet to come, because the confirmation as of now has been made by the State Department, and a confirmation after that has come from American president as well. There was millions of dollars worth of reward on his head, both by the United States of America, as also, Niranjan, very interestingly, by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as well. And Saudi Arabia had in fact gone on to revoke his citizenship following an understanding that he was actively involved in activities which could be detrimental even to that Middle Eastern kingdom. So Hamza Bin Laden being eliminated is a big development so far as America's war on terror in Afghanistan is concerned. And remember, this comes immediately after talks between Taliban and America failed, with Donald Trump announcing that there was a possibility of the Taliban coming to Camp David and having a dialogue with him, as also the Afghan government led by Ashraf Ghani. This essentially means that the Americans have really sent across a message that they were not negotiating from a position of weakness, but from a position of strength, and that they exactly knew or know what's happening where. And with this killing of or elimination of Hamza Bin Laden, I would say Americans really gain an upper hand for whatever negotiations take place in future so far as peace in Afghanistan is concerned, Niranjan.
Well, the highlight, and I think that's the important message that America is also sending out. We've seen so much of uncertainty as far as American talks with the Taliban and the entire Afghanistan operation is concerned. We've seen so much uncertainty and a flip-flop also because it has been in the news in the last few weeks Abhishek, if I'm not wrong, there was news a few weeks back that there were reports of Osama's son being eliminated, but back then America did not confirm that. But it's taken them a few weeks, but nonetheless, I think in the last few weeks also a few significant events have taken place, significant developments, including the talks with Taliban being called off. So something has been happening, and Pakistan very much the epicenter still.
Well, absolutely, Niranjan. I mean, goes without saying that Afghanistan and Pakistan have been terror hotbeds. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, just about 4 days back in an interview to Russia Today, actually admitted Pakistan's complicity in grooming and training and essentially promoting these terror organizations, the so-called Mujahideen in Afghanistan from the Soviet War of 1970s. Osama bin Laden actually was a product of that Mujahideen era, which was a product of Pakistani sponsoring of terror. So in a way, this should be sending a message across to Pakistanis as well that Americans are in control and they should do something about clamping on terror. But obviously, so far as Hamza bin Laden is concerned, his activities were focused on Afghanistan and the Middle East, and that's why perhaps even the Saudis were very uncomfortable with him.
Abhishek, stay with me, Abhishek, because I also have Sushant Sareen joining us on the phone line. Sushant, significant because Imran Khan is hoping he will get a year at the global community, hoping to make a big show of the UNGA. But with America saying that the operation was in Pakistan's backyard, in Af-Pak region, and with all the uncertainty around the Taliban talks, I think this is a big setback to Pakistan, once again reiterating what India has always maintained. Sushant.
Yes, I think I don't know how much of a setback it is to the Pakistanis, but it certainly is going to change a lot of things as far as the war on terror is concerned. See, the point is that many in the American system themselves have been saying that, the Al-Qaeda had been defeated and ousted and it no longer really existed in the Af-Pak region. But clearly, if you're getting hold of Hamza bin Laden, who was virtually the heir apparent and seen as the man who would succeed al-Zawahiri as the Al-Qaeda chief in the fullness of time, if you get him in that same region, then it means that the Al-Qaeda is very much present. And many in the American system were only trying to fool their own, principles by saying that they had got over the Al-Qaeda and then, trying to strike a deal with the Taliban under the pretext that since Al-Qaeda was gone and Taliban was only a local force, it would be a benign kind of a force in Afghanistan and it would not pose a danger either to American interests or spread instability in the rest of the region. Now, that entire theory or thesis has come crumbling down. Although the rumors of Hamza bin Laden being killed are a few weeks old, but nevertheless, the fact of the matter remains that now that the Americans have confirmed it, means that it's an important accomplishment insofar as the war against terror is concerned. On the Pakistani side, of course, it will raise questions on the kind of snake oil that the Pakistanis have been, selling. That they have been very active against the Al-Qaeda, that they have cracked down on terrorism, that they are trying to undo all these nests and witches brew of terrorism that has been which has been spawned by their own people. So I think that certainly is going to come into question, but provided the Americans actually want to question that, because if the Americans are going to be in a rush to exit Afghanistan, then many of these questions will be pushed under the carpet so that they can declare victory and walk out. So I think this confirmation of this fellow's killing is important, but we have to wait and see how the dynamics now changes.
Yeah. Sushant, thank you for joining us on the phone line. Like Sushant Sareen has also been noting, Abhishek, if you're on the phone line with us, the fact that it's happened in Pakistan's backyard and the fact that it's coming days before Imran Khan was scheduled to speak at the UNGA, they tried their best to sort of attempt for Imran Khan's speech on the day when India will be speaking at the UN, or the Prime Minister will be speaking at the UN. This is what this is what we have to highlight: the fact that Osama bin Laden killed in 2011 on Pakistani soil. 8 years later, his son has been eliminated in Pakistan's backyard. 2011, Osama killed in Pakistan. 2019, his son eliminated by American operation in Pakistan's backyard. And we will get some more responses to this. But the big breaking news story of a big expose and a big win for America, because they have been looking for him. A few weeks back, there was also information that he was perhaps killed in a US operation. Back then, Trump did not confirm about the operation, but the office of the US president has gone on record now to say that there was a counter-terrorism operation in which Hamza bin Laden has been eliminated. An American counter-terrorism operation in which Hamza bin Laden has been eliminated, and the operation took place in the Afghanistan-Pakistan region, though America has not released details of the operation yet. But we do know that it was in Pakistan's backyard, and that's why America has mentioned Afghanistan-Pakistan region, similar to what happened in 2011. In 2011, when he was killed, when Osama bin Laden was eliminated, back then it was Obama who made the announcement, but he did not give out details initially. But we found out that it was in Abbottabad in Pakistan. We're just waiting for more details to come in. Abhishek, just trying to see if we can get some more details of the operation that was conducted by America. But the fact that the topmost commander, global commander of the Al-Qaeda has been eliminated, a big shot in the arm also for India, which has been facing the Al-Qaeda threat.
Notice from the statement of the President of the United States as released by the White House is that Hamza bin Laden has been taken out from what is called Afghanistan-Pakistan region, which means the Americans are clearly indicating to the role of Pakistan in even protecting or giving protection or giving sanctuary to Hamza bin Laden also. Remember, Osama bin Laden, Hamza's father, who was a global fugitive, was found from under the nose of Rawalpindi generals. And now the American release clearly mentions that we have eliminated Hamza bin Laden somewhere in Afghanistan, Pakistan. Had it been just Afghanistan, they would have clarified, which means Pakistan's role has been there in protecting Osama bin Laden's son, Hamza bin Laden.
Abhishek,
so while we wait for the details,
stay with me, Abhishek. Stay with me. Story moving very fast. Abhishek. Stay with me. Story moving very fast. We're expecting an announcement by America, by Washington in a few minutes from now, anytime now. In fact, it's scheduled to happen. We are being told a statement is expected in about 1 or 2 minutes from Washington on the exact nature of the operation. Sriram Cholia joining us on the phone line. Sriram Cholia is strategic affairs expert. Sriram, the fact that father was killed in Abbottabad, son is eliminated in Pakistan's backyard. America, if there was no role of Pakistan, would not have mentioned Af-Pak region. And I think...
Well, of course.
Yeah, Sriram.
It's a known haven for global terrorists, and they have also been fomenting ISIS factions in Afghanistan. So the Pakistani intelligence agencies are disguising their tracks and, also supporting lots of terrorist organizations that also aim at the West, not just at India and Afghanistan. So both ISIS and Al-Qaeda have a foothold in the lawless parts of Pakistan, but where the intelligence agencies of the state themselves operate like warlords. So the ISI has basically taken over vast swaths of territory along the Durand line, dividing Pakistan and Afghanistan. They do narcotics trade. They run, a mafia. It is called Quetta Chaman Mafia. And secondly, they use Taliban, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda, all three, for their strategic gains. So, this is the root cause of the problem in the region because, Afghanistan is burning and is unstable. It's because of Pakistani complicity in all these groups. Likewise, we have the same problem in Kashmir. So, I think it's high time the Americans called a spade and actually bombed some of these locations and hideouts of these global terrorist groups which are supported by the ISI. So far, they have not done bombings inside Pakistani territory out of fear that, Pakistan is a nuclear armed state and Pakistan will not cooperate on the peace process in Afghanistan. So handling Pakistan with quick gloves has been a disaster for the United States for last almost 2 decades. And I hope that at least Hamza Bin Laden's story will awaken them to the monster that the Americans initially themselves bankrolled, and only lately Trump has withdrawn the military aid, but still seems to be dependent on them. So I think it's high time they realize who is the real problem maker in this region. It is not non-state actors. These are state-aided, state-abetted, state-supported actors. A lot of these groups masquerading as ISIS or Al-Qaeda or as many other militant groups.
Yeah, picking up more details of the operation, Sriram, do stay with us. We're getting in breaking news now that Hamza Bin Laden was taken out or eliminated by America a few days back. Details of the operation as being received by our newsroom and also as being announced by Washington. This is significant for India because Pakistan was trying to create noise around Kashmir while trying to divert from the real issue of terror. And America has just exposed the fact that Pakistan may have given sanctuary to Osama bin Laden's son in the Af-Pak region or near the border with Afghanistan. Abhishek is back on the phone line with us. I want to go back to Abhishek, and as we pick up more details, we'll try and get some more responses. Abhishek, what more are you picking up? Was it an airstrike?
Well, yes, Ranjan, what we are hearing is that that the killing or the killing of or taking out of Hamza bin Laden has not happened today or yesterday. It's been a few days, possibly a few weeks, and he was taken down in an airstrike or in a targeted airstrike, which was based on both tech and human intelligence. So basically what we are seeing is, Niranjan, that America is making a statement of sorts so far as who's controlling the situation in Afghanistan in the backdrop of the talks having failed with the Taliban by coming out officially with this statement from the White House of Hamza bin Laden having been taken out. It clearly shows that Americans, despite their wish or willingness to tone down or draw down their engagement in the troubled Central Asian region, are still in control of things by way of technical intelligence, by way of military superiority, and the fact of having taken down Hamza bin Laden, who had become a terrorist not just in the eyes of Americans or the West, but even in the eyes of Saudis, who had taken away his passport and citizenship in 2017 and declared him a global terrorist, clearly shows that Americans are sending across a message. And the message is not just to Afghanistan, obviously, but to its Taliban supporters in Pakistan, that if need be, Americans can make tough love. And while they were engaging with Imran Khan because they wanted Pakistani support in terms of prevailing upon the Taliban, the fact that it did not happen, the Americans have come back really with a statement of sorts saying that, see, we control the situation and we will, control the narrative here.